When silence was mistaken for stone. In the crowded heart of Hong Kong, where buildings rose like walls of ambition and lives brushed past one another without pause, lived a woman named Linda. To the world outside, Linda was known as a difficult woman, hard-faced, sharp-spoken, and emotionally distant. Neighbors avoided unnecessary conversation with her. Relatives spoke carefully around her name. Some even said she had no heart. Linda heard these things, but she never corrected anyone. She had learned early in life that softness invited pain. Strength, on the other hand, kept life moving. Every morning before the city fully woke, Linda was already on her feet. She prepared meals, managed expenses, handled household responsibilities, and balanced her work with precision. She did not complain. She did not ask for help. In her mind, love was proven through duty, not words. If everyone was fed, safe, and supported, that was enough. What Linda never realized was that people often needed to see love, not just live from it. After marriage, Linda moved into her husband's family home. Adjusting was not easy. Expectations pressed heavily on her shoulders, and judgment arrived quickly when she failed to meet them perfectly. Slowly, she stopped explaining herself. Silence felt safer than defense. Firmness felt safer than kindness. Yet in that house lived one person who understood her completely, her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law watched Linda closely, not with suspicion but with patience. She noticed how Linda quietly replaced broken items without mentioning cost, how she stayed awake through fevers, how she sacrificed her own comfort without drawing attention. She saw the care hidden behind the rough edges. "You are strong," she once told Linda softly. Linda only nodded, unsure how to respond. She did not know how to accept warmth without feeling exposed. Linda loved her mother-in-law deeply, more than anyone else in that house, more than she ever loved herself. But she never said it aloud, never hugged her, never expressed it in a way others could witness. She assumed love was understood. That assumption would later become her greatest regret. The day her mother-in-law passed away, the house fell into a silence that felt heavier than grief. Linda stood through the rituals composed, her face unreadable. Tears stayed locked inside her chest, burning but unseen. She believed that breaking down would help no one. Others thought differently. She didn't even cry. She must not have cared. How heartless. The whispers followed her like shadows. Neighbors judged her grief by its appearance. Relatives measured her love by her tears and found none. Linda returned home each evening to emptiness. The person who had understood her without explanation was gone, and with her went the only shield Linda had against the world's misunderstanding. What came next was worse than loss. The neighborhood changed. Doors that once opened politely now stayed shut. Conversations stopped when Linda approached. Relatives visited less, then not at all. Phone calls ceased. Festivals passed without invitations. Even casual greetings disappeared. Bullying did not always come as loud insults. Sometimes it came as silence. And silence, Linda learned, could wound deeper than words. She overheard people saying she was cruel, selfish, ungrateful. Some relatives accused her openly, claiming she had failed as a daughter-in-law. Linda listened without protest. Explaining felt pointless when no one wanted to understand. At night, alone in her room, She replayed moments she had taken for granted, the quiet smile of her mother-in-law, the unspoken bond between them, the trust that never needed proof. For the first time in her life, Linda cried freely. Not because people misunderstood her, but because she realized she had helped them do so. She had hidden her softness so well that even love could not recognize it. Days turned into months. Linda became thinner, quieter. She still carried responsibilities, but her spirit felt worn. One evening, while returning home, she heard a child whisper, "That auntie is very scary." Linda stopped walking. The words were innocent, but they struck her with painful clarity. She had never wanted to be feared. She had only wanted to be strong. That night, Linda thought deeply about her mother-in-law, about how kindness had flowed from her naturally, about how warmth did not weaken her, it connected her. Linda finally understood what she had missed all along. Strength without softness isolates. Love without expression disappears. The next morning, Linda decided to change, not suddenly, not dramatically, but honestly. She began with small gestures. A gentle greeting to the security guard. A soft response instead of silence. A smile that felt unfamiliar on her face. It was uncomfortable, like learning to breathe differently. But she continued. Some people reacted with surprise. Some with suspicion. Not everyone believed her change. Linda accepted that too. Growth does not guarantee forgiveness. One day, an elderly woman in the building fell ill. Many avoided involvement, but Linda stepped in naturally, arranged food, medicine, appointments. This time, she also spoke kindly. She listened. She stayed. People noticed. She's changed. Maybe we were wrong about her. Linda did not defend her past or explain herself. She no longer felt the need. She understood that her journey was her own. Grief for her mother-in-law remained, but it softened into something else, a quiet guidance. Linda began honoring her memory not only through responsibility, but through warmth. She spoke openly now, even when her voice trembled. She allowed herself to be seen. She learned that softness was not weakness. It was courage. Linda was still firm, still disciplined, still strong. But now, her strength had a human face. And slowly, life responded. Neighbors greeted her again. Conversations returned. Some relatives reached out hesitantly. Not all wounds healed, but enough did to remind Linda that connection was possible. Standing one evening by the window, watching the lights of Hong Kong glow like countless lives intertwined, Linda felt something she had not felt in years, peace. She whispered softly, as if speaking to the one who had understood her first, "I learned it late, but I learned." And for the first time, silence did not feel like stone.